Barack Hussein Obama in 1 week has pissed off both sides of the Democratic Party, as well as Americans all over the country. He first started by pissing off Whoopi Goldberg after he scolded Democrats and made a statement saying that the way Democrats were going about only attacking Trump was not the right way to move.
Okay.
And then he made some creepy statements about what's best for your son, eerily reminiscent of what he said during the campaign of Kamala Harris.
Is this nigga serious?
But that's not all that happened to Barack Obama this week. Now, Barack Obama is at risk of being arrested by the DOJ. This is weird. Or is he at risk of being arrested for real? In this video, we're going to remove all the emotions. We're going to remove all your political bias. We're going to get to the facts of what happened to Barack Obama this week. And I'm going to give you my opinion of how likely it is for him to end up in prison. Welcome to the Mr. Wilson's Got a Headache podcast. I'm your host, Dennis the Menace. Listen, you want to see more of my content? You already know what to do. Check this out.
And that's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
Mm-hmm. One dad.
No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
There are a few things that I want to point out about what Barack Obama said in that interview. One thing that he didn't do was talk about women. He only specified boys and men. I don't think the Democrats quite understand how that is a problem, that we always talk about what men do and what men don't do in a society that is supposedly equal. I want you to think about that for a second. I said a society that is supposedly equal, meaning you get the same things. And he specifically said that a boy should not be around just that one dude with some type of disdain towards men in the way that he said it. Well, I agree with that. But I also believe that that little girl shouldn't be just around one woman as well. It is extremely important to point both sides out so that you can have a balanced conversation. Or if not, then you leave room for people like me to say stuff like this. Then he went further and made mention of him having some gay teacher and how it was his favorite teacher. A lot of people were upset about that. He also made a suggestion that all boys needed to be coached. The only thing that he wants this person to do is mold this child. Well, Mr. Obama, I want to be 100% clear. When you talk about other men giving perspectives on a child's father, well, that's what the grandfather is for. That's what the uncles are for. That's what the other male cousins are for. What you're talking about completely does not support the nuclear family because you didn't even think about these people. You made no mention of them. Instead, you went straight to someone at school and you prefaced it by saying a gay teacher. I don't support the feminization of men. I am a masculine man. I'm unapologetic about it. And for you who may be looking, think you're going to do something about it, it will never change. I don't care if you don't like it. I hope it keeps you up at night because I'm asleep like a baby. And right now in this country, for the last 20, 30 years, there has been an attack on male leadership, most important. This is the result of not balancing out the equation and leaning too far to one side. But you don't get that, Barack. And another thing, Barack, how do you sit like that?
Welcome to IMO. Get you all teared up.
And as I mentioned before, those are not the only problems that Barack Obama had this week. Check this out.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't. The report that we released today shows in great detail how they carried this out. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims. They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people. In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people who elected Donald Trump in that election in November of 2016. They worked with their partners in the media to promote this lie, ultimately to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump and launching what would be a years-long coup against him and his administration. There was a gross politicization and manipulation of intelligence by the Obama administration intended to delegitimize President Trump even before he was inaugurated, ultimately usurping the will of the American people.
It's getting crazy out here. So according to the Trump administration, Barack Obama purposely fanned the flame of the Russiagate conspiracy. They have documentation now to prove that high-ranking members of our intelligence community told Barack Obama that they could find no connection and no proof that Russia affected the outcome of the election. But instead of reporting what these intelligence experts said, the Trump administration claims that Barack Obama hid the truth and used these rumors to hopefully do exactly what he was saying the Russians were doing, which is affect the outcome of the election.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I don't know because I'm not a legal expert, but according to some, he may be facing treason charges. But like I said in this video, we're going to remove the politics, we're going to remove all of the emotion, and we're going to think logically about this situation. It wasn't too long ago that the Supreme Court came down with a ruling that favored Donald Trump. And everybody on the left was upset. Conservatives were happy and cheerful and excited. And I think a lot of people have forgotten what that ruling said. That ruling pretty much said that the president has immunity as long as that president is working in his official capacity. Again, I'm not a legal expert, but this is something that most of us should remember because it just recently happened. Now, the question is, was Barack Obama working in his official capacity as president when this happened? Now, that's going to take some lawyers and some arguing to figure out. However, we do know that according to the accusations of the Trump administration, Barack Obama was president when all of this happened. This is why you want to remove emotion and you want to think logically about things. Because now you got people on each side fussing and fighting. You got now conservatives thinking, yeah, he's going to jail. Listen, guys, for those of you who have a clear enough mind to hear what I just said to you, I'm sure you can logically say that the chances of Barack Obama going to jail for treason is slim to none. I can't be 100% sure. I definitely want to know what you think about it. If you're a legal expert, a lawyer, or whatever, please chime in. If you want to chime in, chime in. I want to hear what you have to say. But I will be keeping an eye on this story. And if you want updates, you know exactly what to do. That's all I got today. I appreciate you rocking with me. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.